grandfather. I've always been aware he had long-term aspirations of being a professional painter. He studied under John Baldessari at Cal Arts. However, I found out recently that until his death, he was continuously painting and trying to get his work into any sort of major institution, but he was never successful. He made thousands of paintings and drawings, none of which brought him any success, so here I'm going to present a select handful of his work and show you all the talent he had that wasn't recognized. Okay, so the first work was done in 1974. It's titled Park Bench with Trees. I believe it was done in plein air. You can see he used a palette knife for these trees in the background. In this painting we have also a lone bench with no one sitting in it. And we the viewers are invited to sit and observe the scene. And we alone, I think this is a fantastic painting. Growing up, my family had a nice backyard with 4 trees. An oak in the back right corner, a maple tree in the front right corner, a sycamore tree in the front left corner, and an apple tree in the back left corner. But they were crab apples, so we didn't eat them. They just fell on the ground. In the summer, they would just be lying there in the tree, and they would be all rotted, and bees and flies would swarm around them. And for my parents, it was my job to clean them up. One summer, my grandfather and grandmother were staying with us for the weekend, and he kind of knew I hated picking up these apples, so he made a game out of it. He found a long piece of wood to get the long nail into the end. And then he got a bucket and demonstrated a game where he would walk up to a rotted apple on the ground and smack it with the stick so the nail pierced it. And then when the apple spiked to the end, he would smack it on top of the bucket so the apple fell. And I thought that was fantastic, and this painting reminds me of the days we spent together, so I think this is a great painting. Here are some photos of my grandfather. There he is as a cowboy, and that's his little brother as a Native American. Here are some other photos. Here he's younger. There he is right there. I'm guessing this is a high school photo. There he is with longer hair. This is later. There he is with my father, and I guess my grandmother. There he is with my father, and there he is a little bit older with my grandmother. And there he is smoking a cigar. So, the next painting is titled Butterfly on Sculpture from, I believe, in the late 1980s. I think the handling of light and shadow here is extremely well done. And you can tell he's experimenting with pointillism like Seurat with these leaves in the background. And the contrast with the green with the orange on the monarch's wings is something like I think only he could have done. I think it's a great touch in the painting. I'm not going to bore you with another story, but when I was little, my parents got me a pocket knife that I loved, and I used to polish it and take really good care of it. The only thing I would carve, though, would be points on the ends of sticks I would find in the backyard. Another weekend in the summer, my grandparents were staying with us. My grandfather saw me carving this stick, and he worked at the lumber yard right next door to his house where he lived. But he was a carpenter. He built great stuff. He built sandboxes, and he made wood for my brother and I. And he called my sandbox the red machine, and it was maybe like 2 feet by 2 feet on legs, and it had cranks on stuff on the outside that I used to drive these Tonka trucks underneath and pull a lever on the sandbox that would release the hole at the bottom and cause sand from the inside of the box start kind of flowing onto the trucks. And he made also wooden deck chairs and holders for plants. And I just thought he was super talented. And when he was younger, he worked in the Scranton coal mines as a coal miner, which was a very dangerous job, obviously. And he saw a lot of deaths and accidents. And he was up one weekend and saw me carving points on sticks. And he said something along the lines of, anyone can carve a point on a stick. So he showed me how to carve a small wooden propeller by carving a small harmonica-sized piece of scrap wood. And then eventually we had a working propeller, like we still make one. So here's a drawing he made around 2003. This one he was really exceptionally proud of because of the shading on the shirt. Looks like a shirt, and the shading on the jacket looks like the shading on the jacket. And the hair especially, he took exceptional care for. The title is called James Dean, A Rebel Without a Cause. So I think this is a fantastic drawing because you can immediately tell who it is. And we used to watch this movie a lot together, so it really brings back a lot of memories. So I think his artwork is really beautiful. It shows the talent that was underappreciated in its time, which is something that many great artists know and deal with, unfortunately. And I know it's a little unorthodox, but I'm gonna play a favorite song of his just for a second. Oh no. So, as stated before, my grandfather was constantly being rejected by these major museums and institutions and galleries. So I'm raising money to start a campaign to give him more attention. And the goal is to give him enough attention to where he's impossible to ignore for these galleries. And I have a Venmo, and cash would be appreciated. So do you have cash? No, do you have Venmo?
Yeah, do you want me to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 732-841. Any bit helps, guys.
I'm not part of that 20.
That's not for you. Thanks, guys. Do you have money? Yeah, but do you have Venmo? You have a bank account? Do you have
I have several. Do you
have
take
Zelle?
several?
Yeah, I take Zelle. Do you have your phone?
How much do you need?
Any bit would help.
You're serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay. Let me log in.
Yeah, Zelle or Venmo.
Oh.
No, yeah.
No, I like it about you. We're together.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elijah.
Do you have anything? That's
I'm
okay.
good.
That's fine. What do you have anything? I know you're holding a camera, but... Are you sure? Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
What are you going to do with it?
It's for charity.
What's charity?
I was talking in my speech to raise awareness.
For what?
My grandfather, I was just talking about. Alright, thank you guys, thank you for the money.